This conference will now be recorded.
Good. Okay, so I just went. Where are we? What's the folder? Is this the folder? Yeah. Hmm. So we were looking at the different roles which we can assign to the users, and we have to see these three remaining roles. Okay, good. And let's say close. Let's copy this. Did I save this? Where is it saved? I haven't uploaded this, and I'll upload it today mostly. All right, so we'll get started then. We have most of them. And by any chance, do we have Mahesh? Let's see what happened to his final round. Not seeing him. For a second.
Sir,
Yep.
sir, this is Nikhat, sir.
Hey.
Yesterday I got to attend the class because of the some internet connection issue. Can I please know what were the topics covered yesterday?
Nothing because server was down as well, and we just discussed some regular general questions. And we had a previous batch student who was attending interviews, and so he was asking some questions. So we were just trying to see what was that. So nothing discussed on server, but a general discussion on how you get the project and how you prepare the report and common issues in dashboards and yeah, some general questions. what he faced in the interview.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you.
So no server class yesterday. It was only the general discussion. Server was
Okay,
down, internet issues in the institute. All right then, so we'll get started for today.
Recording says start.
Sorry?
Recording.
Yeah,
You have
recording I started today. Yesterday I didn't do recording because the server was down. I was not sure if I continued class. So yesterday is not recorded, but today it's recorded. All right, so what do we see today is what are the different roles we have, and we saw 6 of them: the server admin, site admin, creator and explorer, and creator, and then explorer, can publish, and then explorer. And so today we'll talk about these 3, and we'll get started. Just give me a second, I'll close the door. Okay, so let's connect to server. .49 dot. This is my IP address of the server, and then let's log in. Select the site which we are working on. Okay, let's go to the users, and yeah, let's create the users now. So add user, new user again, and what is the role which we want to assign today? It is the read-only or viewer. Okay, so we have 3, so let's see that. So which one shall we see first? We'll see viewer first, then we'll see read-only. All right, so I'll say US-viewer, display name is the same, password, use the same password, and say add user. Similarly, let's add the read-only user as well. So US-read-only, and the same is my display name, password, select read-only, add user, and we'll add the last user as well. So last user is unlicensed, isn't it? So let's say he's a US-some dummy user. Even this fellow has got the user name and the password. And select the last one as unlicensed. Do we really use them? 200% we will use this site role. Right, so when do we use this is when any person is leaving a project or leaving a company, then change his role from any of the previous roles he had to unlicensed. Alright, so I should not allow him the access when he is leaving my project or leaving the company. Right, so mostly I would say leaving the company, he should not have the access. When he is leaving the project, I might change to either read only or viewer. Okay, but when he is leaving the company, I would say assign unlicensed role. All right, so let's say add users, and today we added 3 users, and let's take a very quick look on what these fellows can do when they log in to Tableau server. But before that, I need a report which have some filters on the screen. I don't see any workbooks here. Workbook created from Tableau server. That's fine. Let's open this here. So to understand the difference, we need to have some filters on the screen. Let's say edit. And let's put here product category show filters. I want this filters displayed on the screen. Let's say save it. Right, and then close it. So to show or to understand the difference clearly, we need to have these filters on the screen. All right. Now let's log out and log back in with the different users to understand the difference. So we'll log in with viewer first. Sorry. So when you log in as a viewer, you still have access to most of the things, isn't it? So very similar to Explorer can publish or Explorer roles. Let's go to the workbooks, and which one we used? This one, isn't it? So I see the checkboxes here. Let's click on this link. This is my workbook, and this here I have a sheet, and here, so viewer, if you observe, do you have the capability to interact with the reports? Yes, we have. So viewer is still able to interact with the visualizations. That means if you see these kind of filters, then I can interact with the visualizations. All right. So one point, make a note of it, and then let's close this here. And can I edit the sheet? No, you cannot edit the sheet. That's not possible. So what is viewer means? A viewer is a role where you can view the workbooks, and interact with the workbooks. I can still interact with my workbooks. Can you create a new workbook? Can you create a new workbook? So in workbooks, there is no option here. From the data sources, can you create a new workbook? So click on this. Even this will be disabled. See, what is the difference between Explorer and Viewer? Explorer can create the new workbooks from here, isn't it? So that's what we wrote here in the notes. Explorer can create new workbooks from the data source, but they cannot save. But here, what is a viewer able to do? So viewer is able to only view the data. So that means that this fellow cannot create any new workbooks. So even from two places, right? So from the workbooks location or from the data sources. So new workbook is not possible, but he can view the content. Users can view the workbooks, and most important point, also able to interact with the visualizations. I'll say just shortcut visualizations. All right. That's the very important point. Let's see what is read only is capable of doing. We'll open the same workbook and let's see the difference. Okay, let's log out of this user. Let's log in as a read only. Right, so US hyphen read only. Type your password. Then go to the workbooks directly. So still I can see the list of checkboxes here, isn't it? So I can still see list of checkboxes here. Okay, let's open that. All right, and again, let's open that view. Okay, so it's saying unable to connect to the data source. What did we lost? Any connections again? Okay, I have access to DB. Very strange. So it says here, unable to connect to the data source and the data service failure, unable to connect to the server you are accessing to. So it's saying that we have access, isn't it? The database we can connect. It's bad. I'm seeing some fluctuations here, but that should not be a problem. Let's open the view one more time. This is bad. Okay, let's try something else here. It's prompting for a password. That's nice. So welcome @123. Sign in. Okay, so for this work, so we'll just try to add that filter here. Okay, so remember the sheet name here is DB Live Workbook Prompt 1. Let me open another browser quickly and then add some. So maybe we have some problem with the sheet, the other one. I'll take a look again. Let's connect to the server and let's log in as admin. Okay, it's taking time. :84. So this is what I'm looking for. So I'm logging here as admin and I'll just take another workbook. So that workbook looks to have some problems. Instead of wasting time, let's look at another workbook here. So which one we took here? DB Live Workbook Prompt. Let's open this. And yes, connect this to the server. And let's click on edit. Okay, so that is asking too many times to connect. And let's have some filter on the screen. And let's say file save as. So why it's asking me save as? Say save, isn't it? Okay, let's say test 1, 2, 3. So don't ask me for a password. So keep it with yourself. All right, so we have this sheet. Let's go back to the original one. All right, so here it doesn't show anything because we created another workbook. Test 1, 2, 3. Yeah, here is what trying to look for. Does it give any error messages? No, that's nice. So here, observe with the read only. Observe with the read only. What happens is the main difference here is you don't see this checkboxes. See the difference between the viewer and the read only. Viewer is able to interact with the visualizations, but as a read only, you will not see the filters section here. So that means you will not be able to interact with the visualizations. The very main difference between the viewer and the read only is this one. So you will see the box here which is highlighted, but you don't see the options to interact with the visualizations. All right, so that's the main point here. So read only here also the same points, but only difference here is so users can view and but cannot interact with the visualizations, comma, the filters shelf or the quick filters, we'll say that way, quick filters will be disabled. Quick filters is not shown at all. Quick filters will not be displayed and filters shelf will be grayed out. So you don't see that option. But still you can see the report. But you cannot interact with the visualization. Very important for interview point of view. What is the difference between the viewer and explorer, viewer and read only, and explorer can publish and explorer, site admin creator, site admin explorer? Right, so some common questions you can expect in the interview. Okay, and the last one here is unlicensed. Unlicensed means if we assign this role to anyone, then this user cannot log into Tableau server. Very simple one and easy one among all of them. So let's say if somebody is leaving the company, then I would just change the role from any of their existing roles to unlicensed, then they cannot log in to Tableau server. Okay, let's see that here. So I'm now logging out, and let's try to log in as unassigned role. So US-unassigned. Okay, what was that role? Unassigned, maybe. Password, caps lock. Let's look at what is the role. One dummy. This is what we give. and let's use the password. This is the message. This is the message we can expect. Your account is not licensed, so you have to contact your Tableau server administrator. Let's try with this user.
Sir,
Let's say, mhm,
instead of assigning a new role, can't we just delete the user or remove it?
we can remove the users as well. We can remove. I'll show that as well. But generally, we don't delete immediately. We will delete after 30 days of time period. Right, so when somebody is leaving, we'll still have that user for some more time, and after 30 days, let's say every month 15th is my date, and on 15th I'll do it in one shot. I'll do all the users who left my company. So why we do that is very simple. Instead of doing one by one, so do it at a shot every month. So every month, one time, look at all the users who are newly added, who are leaving the company, then remove those users. Right? So we can do that way. Anything is possible. Now let's try to see this one here. This fellow is Explorer can publish. Where is that user? This user. This is a role which you have to say in the interviews. This is what I'm working with. Let's go to this user. Sorry. I want to change the role. Is it possible? Now this fellow has Explorer can publish role. But now can I change the role? How to change the role? So just to go to the site role and then change the user because he is leaving. So I'm going to say unassigned and then change the site role. Okay, now let's try to log in with this user. All right, so will it allow or will it not allow? Let's take a look. Come @123. Click on sign in. You can see that now it is not allowing. Okay. And the best practice here, what we do in companies is we'll assign these users to a group. So when somebody is leaving, so we'll just assign this user to that group, and automatically in one click I can change or I can delete users from that group. Right? So we'll talk about groups and then we'll try to see that. But now let's see here. Change the site role back. See, do you see here remove? So if you say remove, then this user will be removed from the system. Okay, and site role, so I'm changing it back to Explorer can publish. And will it affect immediately? Yes, it should affect immediately. Now I should be able to log in. Okay, and this is something about the roles available and the different roles which we have in Tableau server. And who will assign these roles? Tableau server admin or site admin. So you have to say both. Generally, server admins don't do all these activities. Site admin will do these activities because he is a manager of that site. So site admin will do all these activities. Okay, but still, site and server admins can create users, can remove users, can change the roles of the users, and can create groups, assign permissions to that groups, assign users to that group, and we can do most of the things. Okay, so now how did we add our users? So if I want to add the users, so we are using this option, isn't it? No, I don't want to do this. I have so many users now in my system. I have so many users I want to add. Then use this option, import from file. Right? So we'll see that. But what I'm doing here is I'm going to remove all these users. Why? Because the Tableau server is a trial period, so you can create mostly only 25 users. Because it is a trial version, you cannot add so many users. It doesn't allow. Even though you add the users, it will be unlicensed. So it will assign the license as unlicensed. So to avoid that, I'm deleting or removing all these users from the system. Okay, and we'll add the users back using this file. Okay, so what do we do now is, so I'll remove creator and I'll remove unlicensed, explorer, can publish, and a viewer. So I want to delete some 5 users here. All right, so what I can do is click on actions, and yes, remove. So yes, we are trying to use this. Do you want to remove the users from this site? Yes, please remove them, and the users will be removed from the server. Now observe here, user could not be deleted because they own content and has been unlicensed. So what they're saying is, this user has published some content on the server, and that content, and that content cannot be deleted. Yeah, we don't delete the contents, and they own the content here. That means that is still on their name. That's still on their name. So then what do we do now is, we change the ownership. We change the ownership from this user to another user. All right, so maybe we'll take a look very quickly. So what is that content available, and who is that user? Explorer can publish. So let's go to the content, and we'll take a snapshot of this for understanding purpose. Let's go to this and minimize. And do we have the data sources here? And okay, who is the owner? So this fellow is the owner. So I think, did we? No, we didn't remove this. So this is fine. And go to the workbooks. And then what do we do here is owner. And so I still want to see some detailed view. So change that. And here I can see US Explorer publish. So he is owning this content, right? So do you see that this is a workbook which this fellow published? And what I have to do now? So this fellow I want to change or remove the user. Then click on this here, and there is an option, change the owner. Right, so click on that, change the owner. To which user you want to assign? Let's assign it to the site admin, explorer, or say admin, server admin. Right, click on that and change the owner. Okay, now we change the owner for this thing. Excellent. And then let's go back to the users, and which user you want to change? This user I want to remove, and then let's say remove, and say remove. Now did you see that user has been removed from the site? Right, so did you understand what we did here? When you want to delete something, what is that the system checks is, did that user had any ownership on any of the content? If it has some ownership, then it doesn't delete the user from the system. So first we have to identify what is the content which he's still owning, then change ownership. This can be a very good interview question. Maybe those who has attended, they might face this question, like what is changing ownership in Tableau server. This is what it can be very useful. Okay, now the user is deleted from the system, and let's start using this option now. Let's import some users into the system using the file systems in the CSV format. So when you want to use the CSV format, then there is some format which we have to use in the notepad. So I'll put that here so you can see on the screen that there is some format which you have to use. All right, so what is this format here is, this is the format. All right, so this is the format which we have to use. Right, so let's try to create that in the same format. So what you need to have here first is username. So okay, what users do we want to create? Let's take a look first. We don't have many users, Explorer publish and Explorer, then we'll create a couple of users. Okay, minimize this. Okay, it's hard to minimize. Let's go there, let's go to the notepad, let's start writing the content here. So username, I want to use US-Explorer. This is my username, so I'm following these things here, but separate it with the comma. What is the password you want to give? Password is welcome@123. What is the display name? So same thing, US-Explorer. This is my display name. License, what do you want to give here? I want to give Explorer, only Explorer role. So license level you have to choose from these words. So comma, let's say, yes, I want to use Explorer. And is he or she an administrator? No, he's just the explorer. He is not the administrator. So you have to say none, comma. Do you want to have the publishing capacity? No, he's just only explorer. Then no. So I can say here yes, true or 1, or no, false, and 0. So I'm using no here. Comma. Do you have any email ID? Yeah, let's give some dummy email ID @test.com. Now let's have similarly for second user. This time Explorer can publish. And let's have the password. What is the display name? So display name, this time I want to use the same thing, Explorer-publish, comma. So what is that you want to create? Explorer can publish. That is what I want to use here. So yes, the site role, the license level is Explorer, comma. Is he an administrator? No. But do you want to have publishing capacity? Yes. And what is your email ID? So students publish @test.com. Now I want to create site administrator. Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. Let's say here US site admin 2, comma. What is that I want to create? Site administrator. Sorry. So let's create site admin, same password, and let's say here site admin, comma. What is his license? So which one here? So in site admin, we have two things, isn't it? So what is that? Site admin can be explorer, can be creator. So what do I say here is site admin explorer is what I want to create. Explorer, comma. And is he having the admin level permissions? Yes. At which level? Site level. So use here site. Then does he has publishing capacity? By default, he has everything. And let's say site admin @ tester.com. Can I create a server admin? Yes, we should be able to create server admin as well. Server admin 2, and then use some password, comma, and then this is a display name, third one, and the license is which one? So Explorer, Creator, and Viewer. So what you want to have here? So let's say I'll have Explorer, comma, and then he's a site admin. So let's say here system, comma, and yes, and give some email ID. So you can ask this question, are all these mandatory? We got one question one time. Out of all these, which one are mandatory? Right, which one are mandatory? Only these two are mandatory. And these are not mandatory. These are all optional ones. If these are all optional ones, if I use only username and password, what will be the role of that user? What will be the site role of that user? One interview question. What do you think? So what do you think? Any expectations? So which role does it use? So we'll also see Explorer. So we'll try to use that here as well. So test.com. And here I would say only username. So I'm using the username as only username, and the password I'm using the same password. Right, and I don't want to give the rest of them. Okay, let's say now save this file as .csv. Let's save this here and save this here, users.csv. Make sure you use a double quotes, otherwise it will be saved as a text format. I don't want to save in the text format, I want to save as CSV, so use double quotes. So one commonly made mistake in hurry, we use CSV, we don't use this double quotes. Let's say save. And if you go to that place, and if you see that, you will find that in Excel one. Okay, now let's make use of this file, and let's go to server and add users, import from a file, place that and select this CSV and say open and say import users. And if you observe here, 0 users skipped, it did not skip anything, 5 users processed. Observe the steps here, how it does. First it creates just the users, then it adds users to the site, and then site roles for 4 users have been updated. Okay, and what is that here? One user could not be set to server admin, user was set to site admin instead. Okay, so it couldn't set to server admin. We'll see that. All right, so is my users created in the system? I can see that here. isn't it? So I can see the users which we created here. So US Explorer, so he is the user and the site role is Explorer. Explorer can publish, Explorer can publish. Yes, this is the one. And the site admin 2, what is the username? Site admin 2. Yes, here it is. So site admin 2. And we used the server admin, but it couldn't create server admin. We'll see that why it is. But so if you want to create just the server admin, yeah, so let's change site role to server administrator, then change the site role. We'll have to take a look so why it doesn't apply the server admin. And the last one, where I did not use any other fields, I just used only username and password. What will be the site role? By default, unlicensed. All right, so very good question for interview. If you are going for Tableau server interview, or if you get any of these questions, one very commonly asked question. So if you just use the default usernames and password and without any roles, the role will be unlicensed. So why unlicensed? Because it doesn't know which role it has to assign. So it just sticks to unlicensed. And from here, you can definitely assign the roles. Okay, that's not a problem here. Okay, so is that clear? How to import users from the file? So there is a format here. You have to use this format, and you have to use the same format, and these two are mandatory and these are not mandatory. Okay, that's one thing here. And then we know how to create the users. So the next thing here is we'll start understanding the groups, right? So before that, so I just want to draw one small diagram. Let me see, where is that diagram? So give me a second. Okay, sorry. So what do we see now? Yeah, that's the groups sorted. Feeling very well. Let's put that here. Paint. This is a site. Site contains the projects and contains the content. So content means it can be the workbooks, can be the views, the sheets, can be the data sources. And then here you can put this here, the groups and the users. Right? And let's erase this. Or let's put it that way. It's fine. Okay, so this will be two things here, and so your projects, workbooks, views, data sources will be controlled by or will be accessed by these two things here. Will be accessed by the groups and the users, and the access depends on the permissions what we have. Right, so I created projects, workbooks, views, data sources, and so on. And these things will be accessed by the users, which we are seeing now. And the same thing can be accessed by the groups as well, but this depends on the permissions. So these two things will be controlling on what the user should see and what the user should not see. Okay, so this is what we did, very simple way, and so we'll try to talk something about the groups. All right, so maybe it is a little early, or set a good time, save as, and let's put that here. Let's say groups and users. All right, so let's go to the server, and you have the option here, click on the groups, isn't it? So if you click on the groups, then we see that by default there is a group which is created. Did I create? No. Who created this is Tableau server itself created a default group called as all users group. Right, so by default Tableau created this group which is known as all users group, and every user whatever we create will be part of this group. Okay, so by default whatever we create any user, so that user will be part of this group here. So let's click on this group, and you can see the users in that particular group. Okay, so generally the best practice what they do in the companies is, so they'll try to assign, so let's say here select one and say so context select all, and then here site role. So what they'll do here is they'll just restrict it to, so if it is a very new one, so then they'll just have the default site roles. So can be here the unlicensed or any one of the default roles which they are creating. So forget about site admin, server admin, which we created. So first thing what the admins do is they'll just create a dummy users. They'll just create a dummy users with unassigned role, and then later they will change the roles one by one. So to which user they want to assign which role, so they will decide that. Okay, but here only one point for now for you to understand is by default system creates all users group, and every user which we have or which we create will be part of this group. Second point, can you delete this group is a third point, or this can be the interview question. So can I delete this group? So go to actions, this button will be disabled. All right, so remember that this can be the interview question. Can you delete the default group created by Tableau server? No, we cannot delete the default group created by Tableau server. All right, so only 3 points for now to understand. Okay, so let's start creating the groups for us. Let's say new group, and here I have my group name as So I'll try to divide this into two groups here. So one group, generally what we want to say is, say I want to use sales group, or just put here sales, doesn't matter. Let's say create. Okay, and let's create another group, and this time this fellow is a business unit group, or let's say he's a customer unit group. Right, so I'm creating another group here, which is stakeholders group. All right, so I need some users now. I want to put into these two groups. Okay, let's go to users. Right, and let's have some users here. So I will assign some users to that groups. So explorer. So this user is an explorer and he just want to view something, and there's another user here. So these two users I want to put into the sales group. See, that means if you understand here, I'm not giving the complete permissions to that group users, isn't it? So let's put these two users into that group. So point here is, how do we add users to that group? So we can add in two ways. So number one, do it from the users here. So select these two, go to the actions, and then assign it to the group membership. Right, so let's assign these two users to the sales group. All right, so select that and let's say save. Okay, now let's go to the group here, and if you observe, there are two users in that group. Okay, now if you observe in this group, I have explorer and I have read only. No, I don't want read only. I want to even apply explorer here. Okay, I want to apply the same role for every users. Right, so you want to apply the same role for every users. Select that and say here site roles. So I'm selecting these two users here. So that means in a single click here, I can assign the site roles. So now both users are using the same role, which is Explorer. So why is this very useful means? I'll tell you one simple example. So there are 10 people who are learning Tableau, and there is only one faculty. So 10 people, so telling one class for first one, telling second class for second person, third person individually. Does it take time? Are you repeating the same thing here? Yeah, you might say, sir, why separately? Combine all of them, and tell only one class. Yeah, makes sense. Similarly, if you want to apply anything, or if you want to change any permissions, change any site roles, then why you want to do individually? You can group all these users and then apply the permissions or the roles in one single click. That means maintenance is very easy. So why do we use groups is for maintenance purpose. So I can do it with very easily, just with one or two clicks. I can apply every single change I want to make using a group. And how did we add users to the group? We can add it in two ways. Selecting from the users thing, we can add. And the other way, now this is a group here. So let's open this group, and there is an option called as add users. So here, from here also we can add users here. Now I want to add the users here. Let's say Explorer can publish, and I want to have the server admin and few things here. So do we have only one user? Explorer can publish. All right. So we'll create another user. We'll create another user very quickly. All right. Let me create one more user so that it is very useful. So create a new user, and then Explorer can publish. All right, let's say add users. Okay, let's go to groups, and then go to this group, add one more user, and who is Explorer can publish. Where is that user? This fellow. All right, so apply this user. Now they have the same site roles. Very nice. Now here you can expect one interview question, one or a couple of them. So the interview question is, sir, can we add one user to two groups? Understand the question. Can we add same user to two groups? What do you think? Yes? No? Very, very important question. Okay, let me see here. Hey, we have Mahesh. Very nice, Mahesh. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Can we add one user to two groups?
It is not possible.
Not possible. Very nice. Let's go to users. I want to add one more user, and this fellow, let's say I am the manager. Okay, and copy 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and let's say this fellow is also Explorer can publish. Otherwise, let's say I'm using creator option. Add users. Okay, now who is that user? He's a manager, and click on the actions, or you can click on this three dotted symbols as well. Group membership, and then here it is displaying all users. Now, can I select both of these groups at the same time? That means if I say save, what happens? Manager added to two different groups. So really, did that add? Go to the groups and go to the sales group. Here you have a manager with creator, and go back to another group. You see the same user, you have manager here. My sure answer was no, but I showed that you can add a single user to two different groups. So is it possible? Yes, it is possible. So there is no restriction that one person should be part of only one group. No, very, very important question. Can we add one user to two groups? Yes, we can definitely add one user to two groups. Now another question. Can we add one user to two groups with two different roles? Understand the question. I'll put it in the notes. Right. So my question is, any previous students, please answer this question. Can we have one user added to two groups? Answer is yes. So in continuation to above, can we have one user added to two groups with the different roles? That means in one group, that fellow is a manager. Sorry, that fellow is an explorer. Another group is just having just a read only or the viewer role. Is it possible? Okay, let's see how do we do that. Let's go to users again and add another user. Sorry. And let's say this fellow is somebody like project admin. One, two, three. Okay, and then here you see only roles, isn't it? That's fine. So what do we do here is let's say add users. So I'm not doing anything, I'm just saying add users. And then where is this fellow? Project admin. Select this and the group membership. I'm assigning this user to two different groups. Okay, and then go back again, and then your group membership. Okay, that's still fine. Cancel. And then site role. Okay. So here, hang on, I was expecting another screen. I'm expecting another screen here. So instead of adding manually, so there should be an easy way to do that. Let's go to the groups again and go to this, and you can definitely change it here. That is not a problem. You can have one as the site admin. You can change the role. So if I change the role here, so will it change the role in other group? No, it doesn't change. So yeah, stakeholders, and then this fellow is project admin. We gave one site role. So site role, can I just change that here to creator? All right, so let's take a look at another group then. Sales group. Okay, so it's updating here. Now we have, okay, so we have one more step here. So we are missing something. Let me take a look here. Hang on, let me take a look. So there should be a menu available. So that menu will say that this user can act as a different roles in two different sites. It is possible. So let's take a look. So why it is not allowing? The server version is 2018. Yes, it is 2018. So Mahesh, can we assign site roles in 2018 to different, same user for different? Okay.
I'm not do, sir.
Okay, don't worry. I know what's the problem is. So for this question here, sorry about that. So for this question, answer is no. There's another question here. So there is another question here. Can we create, or can we have one user for two different sites? can we create one user for 2 different sites? Is that possible? So one user want to maintain 2 different sites and the same question now. Let's put it here. With the different roles. Even this is one very good interview question. Can we create one user for 2 different sites? Possible? Let's take a look. So we are in which site? We are in Amazon site. Now I want to have some admin who can manage 2 different sites. Then go to here, manage all the sites. Click on this. If you're still here, so that fellow is only for this site. So click on manage all the sites, right? And then let's create a user. Okay, and let's say here new user, and let's give some username. Say different site admin, but for 2 sites. And what is the name, display name you want to give? So give that and have the password here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and observe here. So one user, can we create for multiple sites? Yes, here you can do that. So here it says all sites, yes. And which site? So for this Amazon site, I want to have this user as the site admin explorer. And for another sites which I see here, let's say for this site, I want to have this user as let's say only the creator, right? Or just say only explorer. Say observe here, one user, can he manage 2 sites? Yes, definitely. And first question, answer here is yes. Can we create one user for 2 different sites? So answer is yes. Can we have the same user with the different roles? Yes, definitely. So now this user is an administrator for Amazon, and this fellow is an explorer for this site. Okay, and let's say add users. Interesting questions. So let's go to the site level, go to Amazon site, and go to the users, and which one we created, this user, and he is a site admin explorer. Okay, now let's change this to another site and go to the users, and if you observe here, the same user is acting like an explorer. Okay, so yes, it is possible, and these are the answers. Right, so here, but here, if you have in 2 groups, the 2 groups, it is not possible because the 2 groups still point to the same site. Okay, so very important interview questions. Sorry. So any questions so far? I'm looking at the chat window. No questions. Okay. All right, so we'll stop it here for today. And we just saw only 3 users here, and we're trying to discuss about how to import users from the file and some very interesting combination questions. I would say these two are very, very, very important questions, right? And even this one, right? And it's good to know about this. Okay, so we'll stop it here. And Mahesh, what's the update for your interview?
So yesterday documentation will not send it to my mail.
Yeah, I did not on the PC yesterday, but I'll send it today.
Okay, so yesterday night I will completed the technical round.
Okay.
8 p.m.
Okay.
Result will be he will talk to 30 minutes, around the 30 minutes. US based candidate.
I see. Okay.
Yeah,
And
3 questions will be asked to me. Only 3 questions.
okay, what are they?
First question is starting how to get the project to report. What are the steps we have to do that? And second one is if you create workbooks and dashboards, workbooks dashboard to publish it to the server. What are the process?
Okay.
And when I am published to the server, and UI testing to production, and what are the steps we have to do that?
Okay.
These 3 questions.
Okay.
30 minutes. 30 minutes. I will explain to the team.
Okay. So looks like yesterday's session might have helped you something, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. That's good. So waiting for the results then.
Yeah. He will last 2 minutes. He will talk to another round. Another round is there. His HR team will be contact to you. This will be told that.
Okay.
So I will be waiting for that.
All right.
Today the result will be
Announced. Okay. Good.
yeah.
So waiting for positive feedback.
So please provide the yesterday class document.
Yeah. Don't request. That's
that class will be very helpful yesterday interview.
Right.
Yeah.
That's nice. Right, Mish, I'll talk to you very soon. I have to leave now,
Okay.
and I'll catch up tomorrow. I'll call you sometime.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Bye.
Yeah, got some call with a customer, so leaving now, and we'll continue tomorrow. Thank you.